Hello, this is xeno.protocol, aka Jorge. This is something that I've been wanting to do with the YouTube channel. Well, first of all, I've been wanting to do YouTube for the longest. Um, Sorry, I have music playing in the background, but an ad just came up. But anyway, I just have some, synthwave, chill wave playing in the background just to have it up. Um, yeah, the YouTube channel was something that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's just expanding on what I've been doing, which is toy photography since 2016. I started collecting back in 2011-ish. I recall that Halo Reach figures were still kind of a thing. McFarlane was making them, and my dad would give me $20 allowances. And I would stay after school, and I would use the money to go out and eat, but I would also hold on to what I didn't spend, and I would have, some spending money to go and buy some figures and whatnot. And it wasn't until 2016, a few months after The Force Awakens, Star Wars The Force Awakens, that I started taking Star Wars collecting into consideration. The 6-inch, I remember buying a Kylo Ren in a Walmart when Kylo Ren was so highly demanded, because, he's the bad guy, and bad guys tend to go, they tend to be much more popular, so scalpers would ask for more in the secondary, tertiary market. But anyway, something within this channel that I've always wanted to do was just, show off hauls, show off the figures that I've accumulated. And the past few weeks, I've gotten a few figures, but by the way, if you hear an airplane, I'm sorry, it's because a lot of airplanes tend to fly over, especially in the evenings and the nights. I'm filming this at like, 11, 12 in the night. And yeah, they're like all touching down on LAX. I am a LA resident. I've lived here my entire life. But the point of this is just I just want to show off the things that I've accumulated the past few weeks. Yeah, and might as well get started. As you can obviously see, I have the first two that I will mention. I'm gonna use this to block. I'll get to that box in a bit, but Black Series Luke Skywalker from when he first came out in the Mandalorian. I just want to mention that this packaging is amazing. I know that a lot of people do not like the packaging because they removed the front window, and I completely get it. When I first saw this, I was like, shit, how am I supposed to tell which one's actually worthwhile to get? Because sometimes the paint apps or the face or maybe perhaps the lightsaber's bent, and you're like, I don't want to deal with any of that. But regardless, like, I still do think that this packaging is nice. The sheen that comes off of the plastic. I'm gonna say that this is the I forgot what it's called, but it has a nice shine to it. A little bit of Luke right here in the side, a little bit more of him in the back. The same image, front and back. Description, if you have a figure, you don't, you can read it. But anyway, anyway, so I'll just put this over here on the side. Sorry if you hear another airplane, one's kind of coming down. Figures right here. Very small, which is expected because, Mark Hamill in real life wasn't that tall of a man. 5'8"-ish, I believe. I mean, I guess it's average size, but anyway, I really do dig this figure. It's probably one of my favorite figures in the moment. Yeah, I mean, ever since Mandalorian, I'm just like, great, I need to get Luke. I mean, I absolutely love the Luke in Return of the Jedi, and the fact that they're kind of redeeming him because of the sequel trilogy. The treatment that they gave the character, it's like, it's great that they're revisiting him, and that it's possible now with like adding CGI faces onto actors and whatnot. There's really no way that they can't go back and make Luke the man, the myth, the legend, the person that he should have been from the very beginning. I could assume that some people may disagree with me, some people may agree with me, but bottom line, I was not very happy with what they did with Luke in the sequel trilogy. But they're revisiting it, and from what we got from Luke and Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, I'm pretty happy to see what else they can do with them. But anyway, this guy's on the side. I'll put this one back, and of course the other one, Mara Jade. I will admit, I never really read any of the books and the comics that existed before Disney had acquired the license for Disney, but I did read the Wikipedia pages, and I'm well aware of this character. It's been a while, but I'm well aware of who she is and what she's done. She marries Luke. She was supposed to assassinate him after the death of the Emperor, but she never came around to it. Excuse me. She ended up falling in love, and that's the case. I believe she dies because of her nephew, who fell to the dark side, who technically was supposed to be Kylo Ren in the previous expanded universe. Oh, great, another ad. Like I said, I have music playing in the background, and ads are going to be playing. But anyway, I know that they used the Jaina Solo body for her, which I didn't mind because they had a totally different head. Yeah, and I think she looks pretty good. I've heard that her arms are actually the Luke Skywalkers that they use. Whoop, almost crashed right into the camera. The arms are from the Luke Skywalker that comes out of the 2-pack where Luke is training in Dagobah. If that's the case, that's kind of funny. But the only issue with my copy of this figure is that her right hand, I should say, it's a little loose. I don't think the camera's picking it up, but it's a little wonky, and she seems to have difficulty holding her lightsaber. I don't have any of the accessories of the figures with me at the moment, but yeah, that's like the only complaint that I have. So I kind of have to be really careful with her right arm, or right wrist. But bottom line, I'm just really glad that I got this figure, because I could imagine that like she's going for a substantial amount because of scalpers. But it's part of the collecting world. I don't agree with it. I've rarely gave into scalpers, but it happens here and there. I don't blame people, but I disagree with why they should do it. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. I just realized that I'm going to probably side tangent a lot in this video, but I mean, yeah, just so that y'all can kind of have an idea of where my mind sits with things. But when it comes to unpopular opinions, first of all, I got myself recently the standalone Han Solo, like the standalone as in like the standalone film Han Solo. My personal opinion, I absolutely love this figure, and I absolutely love the movie. I had very little expectations when I went to go watch it. I watched opening night, and I'm really glad that I did. I remember that I was trying to cosplay as him for a good while, but I no longer can fit inside the the shirt and the jacket. So if I want to go visit this costume again, I'm gonna have to go and buy a new shirt, or I don't know what this tunic. I don't know what sort of like fabric of clothing is on the top, but I guess I'm just gonna call it shirt for the sake of things. But the jacket and the shirt, I'm gonna have to go revisit. I still have the holster with the blaster. I think I might have posted it on my toy photography account. But anyway, I really like the movie. I think that the actor Alden Ehrenreich, I believe his name is, I think he did a really good job. I understand that like there's really no way to replicate one-on-one Harrison Ford's like suave attitude, but I mean he did pretty well. I think he did really good. I'm kind of upset that Disney's not going to really pursue him and Childish Gambino to do Lando, and I'm really upset about that because it's like Disney's been blaming us, the consumers, the movie watchers, because it's like, bro, like, no, y'all just get some bad calls, like, suck it up, like, go back to the drawing board. And I think that's like my current gripe with Disney, but it is what it is. I got him at almost the same price as if he was still in shelves. I was kind of surprised that he still was going for a decent amount. Like, I think he's going somewhere between like 10 to 15 right now. I mean, it's a pretty well-made figure, honestly. And like the face, I don't know if y'all can see the face, but anyway, the face is well done. Like it's a pretty exceptional like figure. Like it's honestly, I don't have any complaints with it. Once again, sorry about the airplane. Oh, God, that's one thing I didn't put into consideration when I made this, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm really happy. In total, he came out to be about almost 20, including shipping and taxes and whatnot. But I don't mind. I don't mind, really. It came out pretty good. I have a few ideas of what to do with him when it comes to shooting. And yeah. So I think some of y'all saw my story that I acquired this guy and this guy. This is the Book of Boba Fett. I believe This is the Boba Fett that we see throughout the show. I think the Daimyo, is that his name or title, whatever the fuck. Anyway, I'm sorry if I cuss. I cuss a lot in real life, but I'm gonna try not to on this video. But yeah, this is that box set, the one that comes with the spare stormtroopers. It's like, I think like $25. Right off the bat, this is a very solid figure, but geez, $25 just for you to say that it comes with extra stormtrooper helmets. I mean, I'm not a really big fan of that. I mean, I know that it's the Boba Fett tax that a lot of people have been using online, like coining that term, and I'm not really too fond of it. Side story, he comes with a little pistol, right? Like I said, I don't have any of the accessories, but he comes with a little pistol. You see the holster right there. I took this guy with me when I went to Ireland. I posted a video on that, and I posted it a few weeks ago, but I was gonna shoot this guy, and lo and behold, oh, well, he doesn't have his rocket up here either. Lo and behold, his pistol was missing, and I knew that I dropped it, and I was up in Ireland. I was gonna shoot him, and I was in a wooden area, and there was just so much shrubbery, so much little branches, leaves, just on the ground everywhere. And bottom line, I just packed it up. I was really upset at myself that I wasn't careful. You know, it is what it is. You know, when you go out shooting, you do run your figures at, or you run at the risk of losing, you know, your figures, you're breaking them, losing accessories. It is what it is. You know, it's just the truth about shooting out in nature. And I was packing up and everything, and I ducked down. And I ducked down to go pick up my camera bag, which is where I had all my figures stored. And right where my eyes meet the ground is where the pistol is at. Right then and there. I even told myself that perhaps I'm just going to wake up early in the morning to look for it and whatnot. Nope. Saw it right then and there. And I told myself, this is the toy gods way of telling me, just like, yes, you could still stay there and shoot more, but, you know, you got lucky. We're going to give you a warning. Take care of yourself. And I was like, sure, I'm just gonna grab my shit and just walk off. And I did. You know, I haven't lost too many accessories, and I sometimes double triple check whenever I go out shooting, if it's in a place that's really really like, oh shit, did it stop? Oh, I thought it stopped recording. Especially if it's somewhere really close, you know, I just double check, triple check. But sometimes, you know, when I'm really far away, aka in another country, I do have to be super careful. And this is probably one of the best Boba Fett figures I've ever like owned, like, you know, both in 112 and 118 scale. I wasn't a big fan of the show, the direction they went. Some episodes were good, some of them were kind of you know. Definitely the episodes that didn't involve him were some of the best, which is really ironic. You know, I think that the sculpt for his head, come on, get up. Ah, geez, another commercial. Anyway, his head sculpt was good, pretty good, you know. But nonetheless, solid figure. I would recommend anyone and everyone to get this guy. And this is the Force Link R2D2. Oh, just for the record, excuse me, I just had some tacos like 2 hours ago, and I'm starting to burp. But I got these two guys, just huge shout out. I got these two guys at Cape and Cow Collectibles in Fountain Valley, Orange County. The owner there, I believe his name is Sterling, is an amazing guy, super awesome guy. I've been there recently, and like, dude, I can literally spend so much fucking money over there. You know, people always recommend like, oh, Frankensons, or maybe some other comic book stores that sell figures. And like, look, like, yes, Frankensons is great, but I mean, recently they've been getting pretty expensive, you know, and a lot of places have been selling more pops more than anything. And like, you know, figures that people want, like, for example, this Luke Skywalker probably cost you like almost $40, $50, you know, and it's ridiculous. You know, I get it that people want to sell toys as a job, but like, dude, like, come on, don't be a scalper. But anyway, I got these guys at geez, I was about to say Frankenstein's, Cape and Cow. And if you're ever in the Southern California area, go and visit Cape and Cow. Really small place, but the dude's excellent. He knows his stuff. He's super friendly. I've had conversations with the guy, and all I did was just hop in there for like 5 minutes, and every so often he gets a new round of stuff, you know, Star Wars, kaiju, like imported stuff. You know, he tends to be up to date with a lot of like the Marvel Legends. I don't collect Marvel Legends, but anyway, this is not even a sponsorship. I'm just saying like the guy is great and he's worth it. But anyway, back to the reviews or this. But yeah, this is R2D2. This is the Force Link one. Like people are not aware. For those who are not aware, the Force Link where that line where it had that little app I think on your phone, and it had this little like device where you like click it to the, or like you connect it to the figure, and it will make like, you know, my voice just cracked there. It'll like use sound effects and like phrases and stuff like that. And since R2 doesn't really speak, he just beeps and boops, you know, and make the sound effects. But honestly, for like $10, it comes with a third leg. But like for like $10, honestly, this is like a pretty solid R2D2, you know. But anyway, I got him there too. There's nothing really special about him, but like if I just need an R2 to just sit there, I mean, he's perfect, basically. Now we're gonna start getting into the stuff that I'm more passionate about, to say the least. Halo. I know a lot of you know me as someone who loves Halo, and I absolutely love Halo. Recently, you know, Halo Infinite, I don't know why I said that weird, has been going down a path that I'm not too sure about. You know, there's been a lot of controversial things, you know, head people like leaving, and 343 just making just weird decisions. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, oh, nostalgia, and we can go back and visit the original games. I'm like, sure, yeah, but I kind of like to see new things. Anyway, with that being said, one of the first few figures, actually, I'm gonna start with this one, that I actually got him back in December, but I haven't posted him. I haven't shot him yet, and I'll explain why. But it's this white EOD. Now in this lighting, I don't think he looks all too great, but you know, this dude is. I mean, just the whole Halo 3 McFarlane line was just really solid. I have very few complaints, and the ones that I do have tend to reflect more on like the Covenant figures. But you know, for the human ones, like the Spartans, well, they look great. Now, I got this dude loose. I get a lot of my figures loose, a lot of my McFarlane Halo figures. And some of the risks that you do run when it comes to like getting them loose. Now, granted, they're a lot cheaper because, you know, in package, they're more expensive because they've been held in that plastic for years, literal years. I mean, like these figures started coming in at 08, and that's like what, 10 plus years ago. But anyway, the problem with getting them loose is that they sometimes do come with like damages and whatnot. And the reason why I haven't gone out to shoot this guy, I don't know if I can, I don't think it shows. Not really, doesn't really show all that well, but his right arm, this arm, the joints are splitting open. They're splitting open, so that means they're not clamping down as they should be on the joint. So that means that this arm is a lot loose than it should be. Now, I like to say that I take care of my figures, you know. Sometimes, yes, I stack them on top of each other to keep them in storage, but like for the most part, they're sitting there, you know. They're not being tossed around. They're not being exposed to like the light and all that sort of stuff. But sometimes things do happen, you know. Sometimes a figure may be warped and whatnot, and that might be the case with this figure. And you know, I got him for a reasonable price, but had I known, I probably wouldn't have gotten him, you know. But I've seen people like explain like, you can probably just clamp it back. It's just gonna take some effort. I'm like, yeah, sure, I know I should. But you know, the EOD, this white EOD, it's an underrated color on an underrated armor scheme. Yeah, there seems to be some damage here, but it's not that big of a deal, really. I mean, this figure, regardless, still comes in a pretty good condition, you know, except for the arm and whatnot. And a lot of times, oftentimes, like the figures come in very good condition. Like the people who sold them were taking care of them, and sometimes things do happen, you know, where something through the shipping and whatnot tends to occur. But anyway, it's not that big of a deal. But you know, to me, I'm a perfectionist, I guess, in a sense, and it's really difficult to like not notice it though. But I'll get to him getting fixed. And in worst case scenario, I can't do anything about it. Well, then I just got to be super careful when I go shoot this guy. Now, side note, this figure is like, I don't know, Series 5, Series 6. A lot of the figures later in the line, this is my fucking McFarlane nerd ass talking now, but a lot of the figures later on have this nice coat, this nice sheen on them. It may not really show in this video, but you know, you could kind of see some like reflectiveness coming off of his chest, off of his shoulder plates, a little bit on the forehead of the figure. Just nice, like, you know, kind of reflective material. There are other figures that are much more reflective than this guy. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just got this guy earlier this week or last week, I don't remember. But recently, this guy came into my possession, and this is probably one of the best, well, one of the figures I have like the best condition. Wait, am I saying that right? Well, basically, this figure came into me in a really good condition. Like, this dude who sold it to me was taking care of his thing. It was taking care of his collection, and honestly, I'm just really happy to have had it. I think I have completed the entire Series 1 McFarlane line. Oh, great, another commercial. Anyway, the entire Series 1 Halo 3 line, and this guy was the last one. Like I mentioned, the previous figure had like a little shine to him. A little shine to him. Maybe you might see it in this segment of the video, I don't know, but he has a little shine. This dude does not. And I'm not saying that that's a bad figure because it has a shine, but this figure has more of a matte finish to it. Yeah, it looks a little shiny, but on the chest it's more prominent, and in the helmet, but like it has like this like matte, this flat finish to it. It's like they added like maybe like a little something on top of the dried paint right before they packaged it, and it just looks really good. Like, geez, I wish I had like better camera equipment. I'm just shooting this out on my phone, but really, like, this figure just came in like excellent condition. I'm just really happy that it came in this condition. Like I said, I sometimes get lucky and I do find people who took care of their stuff, and you know, they came in at like, and they came in not costing me all that much, or not costing a crazy amount. I mean, like, on average, what action figures are going for like 20, 25, almost $30 now. And these figures, when they first came out, were $15. But I mean, in 2008, how much was minimum wage and how much were people getting paid, you know? So it's like, I guess in a way, it depends on how much things were back then. But, you know, I'm pretty sure these figures did cost a little bit. But now, you know, it's a hit or a miss. You know, some people are kind of indifferent about this line. Some people are kind of like, oh man, that's so cool, I should start collecting them. And honestly, dude, like, I think people should start collecting them now if they want to acquire any of these figures, because God knows how expensive they're going to get. God knows how difficult it's going to get for me to get a hold of them. But anyway, this figure is solid. He came with an AR. That dude, I think, also came with an AR. But with all this Halo stuff, this Halo talk, now I want to reveal what's inside this box. Now, I did a poll. Just kind of basically. Anyway, it's this. So I did a poll on Instagram as the time of this recording. I did a poll on my Instagram, and I asked whether this is an Alien versus Predator figure, Star Wars, Halo, or something else. Well, basically, a vast majority of you were correct. It is Halo, of course. It's expected of me. Sorry, my voice is getting a little dry, but anyway. Yeah, this is, I guess, it's nothing exciting in the sense of like, well, to me it isn't like exclusive supposedly go for more. This is a FYE Suncoast exclusive. FYE is kind of really expensive as of recently, and I found it interesting that this dude gave it. I mean, like, look how good in condition this whole package is. I mean, it even still has like the security tab. I wanted to take it off, but it started to like peel away like the graphic from the back. And honestly, I don't want to get it out of the package, but I'm an out of package collector, as you can see. I mean, like, this is great. Like, it still has the barcode, you know, $17. Like I said, these figures came out at $15. So like, I mean, FYE was kind of scalping, but I mean, $2 extra back then. I mean, I don't know how much it went for, but anyway, this is the CQB. This one in particular is actually very difficult to get a hold of. I got this guy at such a, you know, in the past I've posted, you know, screenshots of my eBay hauls and whatnot, and honestly, dude, like, yes, these figures do go for a lot, and yes, it's annoying trying to get, like, you know, an elite. The elites by themselves go for like 30, 40. Sergeant Johnson goes for like 40. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't think these figures should warrant such a price tag, but you know, nostalgia and people thinking that old equals expensive. No, 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 that's utterly ridiculous. Sorry, there's another airplane right above us. But anyway, yeah, I got this guy. He came in. When is it? What are we? Thursday night? Yeah, we're Thursday night as of this recording. And I think this guy came in Wednesday. I think right before I was going to school, I heard, you know, the mailman like scanning the device, and he put the box down, and when he left, I just swooped it in, threw the box to my bed, and I opened it later on that same night. Yeah, I mean, it's it's just looking at it right now, it's like, geez, it looks great in the packaging. This whole thing makes me nostalgic. I don't remember ever actually seeing these when I was younger. These in particular, the Halo 3, Halo Reach, or the Halo 3 ones. No, but the Halo Reach, yes. I did see a lot of them here and there, but I didn't really collect them. I loved Halo, but I, at the time, wasn't a big fan of the Halo Reach aesthetic. Unpopular opinion, Halo Reach, I wasn't a big fan of when it first came out. A lot of people weren't a big fan of it, but I mean, now these days people are like, oh my god, it's so great, it's so nostalgic. And I'm like, yes, I agree, but for the most part, I have a lot of problems with the multiplayer back then, but I think the 343 in the MCC have improved, sorry, the overall, the way how the game runs. But anyway, just a fun fact, let's see if I can even get it to come out. You can kind of see the little indents right here. You can see the 5/11/09. That, if you ever collected in package Halo 3 or Halo Reach figure, that is the date in which the figure is packaged. Like sealed in the factory, ready to be shipped back to the States or to Europe or to whatever country this is heading towards. That's just something, a little fun fact that people aren't aware of, and people are like, oh wow, like that's crazy. So literally this figure was packaged in 09. Oh crap, I don't know if you can see that. I don't think it's coming out, but anyway, this figure was packaged in 09. So this is 2 years, 5, so that's May. Yeah, so this figure was packaged 2 years after Halo 3 had came out. And I think by that point, Halo Wars was, yeah, Halo Wars collection. That's crazy. Halo Wars came out like 2 or so years, or like a year after Halo 3 came out. And sometimes I forget that games, you know, came out that frequently back then too, you know, because like people say like, oh, Call of Duty each year, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, it's a little annoying, but even back then, like 08, 09, 010, or 2010, Call of Duty also did the same thing. Anyway, this graphic here is just amazing. I've been collecting the graphics, and I've been putting them up on my wall because it's like it's something that's so nice. Like why can't we keep these? And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna keep it. Anyway, out of all these figures, I own this dude. I used to have this guy. I'm not a big fan of. Well, first of all, I'm not a big fan of the Halo 3 Elite designs. I know, a little controversial, but McFarlane did not do a good job about the legs, and these legs were very stiff and fragile, and I just didn't like that. So, you know, I sold whatever Halo 3 figures that were elites. I sold them and whatnot. What the heck kind of ad is this? Like I said, I have something playing in the background, and the ad should be done in like 2 seconds. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Oh, great. Okay. Hopefully I could edit that out. Anywho, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, bottom line, Halo 3 design, not the biggest fan. And McFarlane did not do a very good job with the aliens, the Covenant. The legs were just terrible, awful. Same thing with the Brutes. The Brutes are just super stiff, but I do have this guy. He's a hunking piece of plastic, and he looks great, but I mean, he doesn't move much, and this is false advertisement. They don't even hold guns in the final product, but anyway. I think I sold this guy. I don't know if I still have this figure. For some weird reason, this dude's chest piece was coming off, and he was within a package. He was packaged, but I sold him. It is what it is, you know. I might end up visiting this figure again and like buying him again if I'm able to, and you know, hopefully it comes in a better condition. I got this guy. I have all 6 ODSTs. I know there's a 7th one in active camo, but I know the active camo figures are super fragile, so I'm like, nah, I just rather not deal with that, you know. But anyway, I have all 6 of them. There's a obviously purple, a yellow kind of pale tone like this dude, cyan, brown, red, and gray. The red one was super difficult to get, but I got him a couple years ago. I got this guy, I had this guy, had him too, but Hayabusa, super difficult to get a hold of as well. EVA, I'm not even aware how many EVAs there are really. Just got this guy, got this dude a couple years ago. Sergeant Johnson, I don't think I've ever seen the brown one. I think the brown one is like super rare. There's an orange one. I think this actually might be the orange one. But anyway, the brown and the orange elites from Halo 3 are like the most difficult to acquire. But anyway, that's pretty much the rundown of what I've accumulated. I'm surprised it actually got up to 30 minutes. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of expectations with myself when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to Reels, when it comes to all these sort of things, you know. Instagram has been going down the can as of recently. A lot of my pics don't even hit 100 likes, you know. And I know that, like, if you're in this for the hobby, like, you're gonna keep doing it. And yes, that is true, I am. But at the same time, it's like I have over 1,200 followers. Come on, Instagram, make it seem like that I have over 1,200 followers. I don't know. I'm pretty upset with them. But then YouTube, I know YouTube has been very difficult also to work with people who have been doing it for quite some time. But, you know, I don't mind. I guess in a way, like, I'm not trying to get much out of this. I just want to show people that I love collecting toys. I love collecting Halo toys in particular. And, you know, that's not going to stop. God damn it. Like, how that's not going to stop the airplanes flying over. But, you know, I'll keep collecting them. I'll keep showcasing them. I have a few photography ideas that I want to execute over the summer. I haven't really been working at all, actually. And my job, sideline, I work at a theater, like a play theater, you know, like William Shakespeare kind of theater. And their season's coming up pretty soon, so I'm going to be able to work more and I'm going to be able to buy more figures. There's a few that I'm eyeballing, some higher end figures, but, you know, if you have the money, if that's what you want, then of course go for it, right? But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much, I'm just going to wrap this up. You know, if there's any suggestions, any thoughts, any comments that you want to leave, just let me know, or DM me on Instagram, or message me on, or yeah, leave stuff on my pictures. I'll be shooting this guy, I'll be shooting all of these folks pretty soon. I mean, I don't know if some of y'all noticed, but I started making this little in-universe thing where, like, Luke and Mando and all these Star Wars characters are interacting with Halo characters. And, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot of that, you know, this sort of cross-universe thing. And with the fact that the Ahsoka show is, like, bringing in Thrawn and you know, you see where I'm going with this. You know, I kind of want to make this sort of, like, multi-universe kind of thing, you know. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it. I'll catch you all in the next video. Deuces.